Companies Act, Section 465, Repeal of certain earlier enactments and savings. Section 465 of the Companies Act, 2013 deals with the formal repeal of earlier company-related enactments and also contains extensive saving provisions to ensure that the transition from the previous law to the new Act does not affect ongoing rights, obligations, or legal processes. The objective is to allow a smooth and legally stable shift from the Companies Act, 1956 and other related provisions to the Companies Act, 2013, without invalidating past actions or disturbing operational continuity. 1. Repeal of earlier company laws. The Companies Act, 1956 and the Registration of Companies, Sikkim, Act, 1961 are formally repealed. However, this repeal does not take effect immediately in every respect. For a temporary period, specified provisions of the Companies Act, 1956 continue to apply, particularly concerning jurisdiction and functioning of the Company Law Board, CLB, powers, authority, and roles of courts under the 1956 Act. This continuation applies until the central government notifies the transfer of all pending matters to the National Company Law Tribunal, NCLT, under Section 434. Further, provisions of the 1956 Act that continue to apply to limited liability partnerships, LLPs, under Section 67 of the LLP Act, 2008 shall continue until corresponding provisions of the 2013 Act are officially applied. Thus, although repealed in principle, certain parts of the old Act remain operational until the transition is fully completed. 2. Savings preservation of existing rights, actions, and legal proceedings. All actions, decisions, and legal steps already taken under the repealed acts including rules, notifications, appointments, notices, orders, penalties, investigations, or directions shall be treated as valid under corresponding provisions of the 2013 Act, provided they do not conflict with the new law. Any existing laws, procedures, or regulatory mechanisms including forms of pleading, jurisdiction, customs, privileges, practices, and exemptions continue unchanged unless inconsistent with the new Act. Appointments of officers, including registrars and other authorities under the repealed Acts, continue to remain valid under the 2013 Act. Existing corporate offices for registration and company administration continue to operate as if established under the new Act. Companies already incorporated under the old Act remain valid, and the provisions of the 2013 Act apply going forward. Registers and statutory funds created under the earlier Acts remain valid, and are treated as those created under the 2013 Act. Any prosecution initiated before the commencement of the 2013 Act will continue to be heard and decided based on pre-existing provisions. Any inspection, investigation, or inquiry already ordered under the 1956 Act shall proceed as if ordered under the 2013 Act. Any matter or proceeding already filed with Registrar, Regional Director, Central Government and still pending at the time of commencement, shall be completed using the old Act, despite its repeal. These saving provisions protect legal continuity and ensure no right, proceeding, or liability is lost due to legislative change. 3. Application of the General Clauses Act, 1897. This subsection clarifies that Section 6 of the General Clauses Act, 1897 shall continue to apply to matters of repeal. This means repeal does not affect already accrued rights, liabilities and penalties remain enforceable, investigations and legal actions already underway continue unaffected. It is clarified that this protection applies equally as if the Registration of Companies, Sikkim, Act, 1961 had been a central act. Purpose and significance of Section 465. ensures legal stability during transition from old law to new legislation, protects vested rights, existing actions, and ongoing court cases, allows administrative systems to continue without disruption, guarantees validity of prior company incorporations and regulatory steps, prevents legal loopholes that may arise due to repeal of entire acts. For more details, contact us.